Okay, so Hungary, Switzerland, the second game of the Euros, and the second game in Group A has just finished. It's finished 3-1 to Switzerland over the Hungarians. It was 2-0 to Switzerland at half time, and this game really is a tale of two halves. The first half was all Switzerland, it was very one sided. Hungary were absolutely appalling. The Swiss controlled possession, the tempo of the play, the pace of the game. They could inject pace, slow it down. They were in control. The second half, Hungary came to life, and it was a really thoroughly entertaining second half. Very, very open. Hungary had a swing of momentum. They get their goal, but that winning goal by Mbolo right at the death. It's just Jan Sommer lumping it long. I don't know what the defender's doing, but that lob is absolutely exquisite. In fact, all the goals are pretty good in this game. There's no scrappy goal in this game. Duah scores his goal on 12 minutes. Initially, the linesman flags it as offside, but he's timed his run perfectly. The VAR has worked. It could be a bit quicker with the VAR, though, a little bit. But that's on 12 minutes. The pass is brilliant, and it summed up the first 10 minutes, where the Swiss have now dictated the tempo and pace of the game. They're passing Hungary off the park, basically. They're passing them all over the place. And the Hungarians are just not able to dictate any kind of tempo, and they can't disrupt the Swiss possession. So Dua's goal on 12 minutes, wrongly flagged for offside. VAR corrects that, but we lost a couple of minutes with that VAR check. That was on 12 minutes. And after that, the Swiss just settled into the game, controlled the tempo, the possession. They were more accurate with their passing. They had multiple chances that they created. And Hungary were just, well, dreadful is the best way to describe the Hungarian performance in the first 45 minutes. They were absolutely dreadful. Aebischer's goal on 45 minutes, I think, for me, as a finish, while there's great build-up play, he sums up the situation as a right footer on the left. There's no one making a telling run into the box or either side of him, and so he sums it up, takes his time, composes himself, and lets fly with a rocket of a right foot shot. A bit of a pile driver. That's from outside the box. That's on 45 minutes on the stroke of half time. But the build up play to that, I mean, the Swiss were playing possession football, measured in their passing and their movement. Jacques has really been the heartbeat of the team, but every Swiss player in the first half was absolutely fantastic. Some great interplay, some great passing triangles, good runs off the ball. Hungary just had no energy in that first half, but lethargic, lacking cohesion. They were looking very, very passive defensively, and Aebischer's goal summed up a perfect half of football for the Swiss. So it's 2-0 at half time. Half time comes and goes. Hungary were a little bit better to begin the second half. They actually strung some passes together, but the Swiss were still creating, and it's about midway through the second half that the Hungarians just come to life. And eventually, they start moving the ball with more pace, getting more time in possession rather than scrappy possession. They're actually building phases of possession. And Varga's goal, which is a brilliant diving header, was their best passage of play. In my opinion, that was their best passage of play. He had given them a near miss a few minutes before with a very powerful header that he directed wide. I don't think he could have done much more with the technique. The technique was perfect, just the accuracy was slightly off. But that diving header, he beats, I think, Rodriguez, the defender, or Shah, and does them for physicality, gets his body in the right position. That is a diving header. That is an exquisite piece of technical skill. It's very, very hard to teach. And people will say, oh, he only plays in the Hungarian league. It's not one of the big five, big six leagues in Europe. But he's the Hungarian league's top goal scorer last season. Brilliant diving header. Up until those two headers that he had midway through the second half, he had been very isolated at the top of the field. Shalai, Shabozlai and others just couldn't get the ball to him. And after that, the Swiss lost control of the game. They were in control, controlling the tempo, the momentum. Their game management fell apart. They lost control of the tempo of the game, and Hungary suddenly came to life. Everything was done at pace now by the Hungarians. They bring that big hulking forward Adam on, amongst other changes, and some of their rotation of players and the tactical substitutions were working better in Hungary's favour than the Swiss. And the Hungarians looked most likely to score, but the Swiss did expose them towards the end of the second half a little bit on the counter-attack, which is where their winning goal has come from. Now, Jan Sommer, he just thumps the ball long to clear the lines. I don't know what the Hungarian centre-back's trying to do there. Completely misreads the flight of the ball. Maybe he's lost it in the sunlight, but Mbolo just carries on running, loses his thigh strap, manages to lob the keeper, and it is a very fitting finish for a player he's only played like 5-6 games in total in the last year and a half. He's done his knee in. He's had knee reconstruction surgery. He's not 100% fully fit. He's only been a part of 5 games towards the end of the league season. But that finish is a brilliant cheeky lob. But that's Route 1 football, which we don't see as much these days. But overall, I think the better side has won. The Hungarians were so poor in the first half, but that second half performance makes me worry for Scotland. If Hungary play like that against Scotland as they played in the second half, Scotland are in serious trouble. If the Swiss can put together a 90-minute performance, Scotland are in serious trouble. I don't think Germany are going to have it all their own way in this group. I do think Hungary and Switzerland can give Germany problems. The Swiss have a few more experienced heads in their squad than the German squad, for example. The German squad is very, very young. Yes, there's a handful of really experienced players in that squad, but for the most part, they're a very, very young German squad. This Swiss side has got a good blend of youth and experience. And they were wobbling a bit in that second half, and then towards the end of the second half, they composed themselves and calmed down a little bit. They got past their wobbly spell and win the game 3-1. So there we go. Very entertaining game. The second half was brilliant. If Hungary had shown up in the first half, we could have had a really high-scoring game. Probably more goals than last night. But as it is, it's finished 3-1 to Switzerland. So thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the game in the comments section below. Now we have Spain against Croatia, which I'm really looking forward to. Croatia, surprising for the betting odds, are still mid-ranked in the betting odds at around 30 to 40 to 1, depending on the betting company you're going with. Spain are as short as 8 to 1, sometimes in some places 4 to 1. So it's going to be interesting. I think that people are underestimating the Croatians. That is going to be a fun game in Berlin. The weather has been a bit changeable in Germany, much like it's been here. There's storms and rain, and then sunny spells and a bit of wind. So it's changeable conditions. That's going to prove very, very interesting. But anyway, that's to look forward to. But for me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I will have more content for you guys very, very soon.